Mm, mm,
First, Hi.
Hey there, Hazim Muhammad. What's up? Hazim Muhammad.
Give me my gift card, just kidding, LOL.
Nah, you're just kidding. Well, you can win it. You can win one here. If I win them, as soon as I get first place in a match, somebody's gonna get randomly selected from the chat. So all you gotta do is be in here when I get first to have a chance to win it. Just like that, we're in the top 25. It's a pretty long run. Mohammed, you still there? Wow. All because I stood up for a second. That was all because I stood up for 1 second. I showed my footprints for 1 second.
So I can get a PS4 card or no I am subbed and liked.
Yep, you could get one, alright. All you gotta do is be in here when I get first place. Then somebody gets randomly selected from the chat. So you just gotta be sitting in the chat where I win to have a chance.
Hi Patrick, why you didn't gifted me Gamer Twin?
I always gift it, knock it off.
If I help you win in duos, will I get the card?
God damn it, I forgot to get that big pot.
First I added you didn't accept, I won like 1-0 time. In the giveaway.
Motherfucker. Fucked up. Forgot to drink the big pot. I was sitting back there.
Unsubscribe. Scammer.
No, it's 100% real.
How much did I win him? Every stream you said I won Sunofovich.
This guy's gotta be kidding me. He thinks he's gonna get all the materials. You're not happening, buddy.
Son of a bitch.
Son of a
You
bitch.
launched PRN.
There's some medkits in there. Yes. No, that ain't even a medkit.
You look like a cow. Allah Akbar. Faster bro, you got this. Mother suckers. He is a scammer, a 110 time he gifted me nothing, I swear. Swear. Take a launch pad.
Come on, how am I still getting banged?
Unsub.
Believe that shit?
Take another launch.
How was I still getting hit from a guy in the storm? What a little fucking cocksucker. Unfucking believable. Now he's gonna use my son of a bitch. Man, this guy was really fucking nagged me. Hey, what's up, Gamer
Do
Twin?
you
What's
actually
up?
do giveaways?
Yeah, I do, Hazim. Yeah, I do. Go back and watch some of my other streams. I won 4 matches yesterday. I won 3 matches the day before that. Still looking for that first win today. Yeah, as soon as I get a win. You're gonna win it, Hazim. You're the only one in here, I think, Hazim. So if I win this match, you're gonna be getting the V-Bucks. Or the gift card. You hear me, Hazim? Mohammed, you hear me? If I win this one, she's coming to you, Mohammed. You play on the PS4, or you want the Xbox or PS4 gift card if you win, Mohammed?
Yes, sir. Xbox.
Ooh, perfect. Perfect. Everybody else always wants PS4, so I like to give away the Xbox. Good, good. Xbox, perfect. I was hoping you were going to say that. Awesome, awesome. Then you're definitely going to be getting it if I win this one. It's all you.
If I had a single bit of gold I would get in your game and destroy anyone else, lol.
If you had some gold.
Loot this place quick and head directly to zone.
Yes, sir.
Chest are up.
I think I know. I'm pro. Remember that. Don't forget that.
When is the fake giveaway?
Whoa, never. There ain't never a fake one. They're only real here. And it's when I get a victory. Sidekick. Take it easy, sidekick. Come on. Come on, buddy. You talking to him like that in here? We're too good of friends for you to be talking like that, no?
Gale 4554's best friend.
Cool.
And who's that? It's he that fire. Are you a broken motorboat?
Looked like he was battling somebody there.
Good kill.
Looked like he was fighting somebody there.
How do I win? How do you win the dog? How do I win the gift card?
If you want to win the gift card,
Giveaway.
all you gotta do is be in here. When I get first place, somebody gets randomly selected from the chat.
Okay. I've been subbed for ages, by the way.
Good. So I like to hear.
Anika.
Top 10, let's go.
Raw racist. I am Black Coop.
If I could hit a snipe kill off this plane, that'd be sweet.
It's an LE chopper.
That's an NLE chopper. Hey, what's up there, Tabasco? We got Tabasco, we got my old buddy Sidekick in here.
He's a rapper.
We got Hazim in here. We got Hazim Muhammad. This one's for you, Hazim. I'm hoping I can win this one, Hazim. This one's for you, bud. Good luck, Hazim. This one's for you.
Yo, you're the best, bro. So if you win this game, Hazy gets the gift card.
It's either going to be Tabasco or Hazy, yeah? Or Sidekick. It's going to be Tabasco, Hazy, or Sidekick.
Oh, okay, I get it now.
You're the only ones that have been here, so if I win it,
5 people left, you got this.
Sidekick, Kazan, or Tabasco's getting it. I could hit a snipe that you could clip here. I could hit a clippable snipe here if I could see a guy. I could take a shot or two, but I didn't see nobody.
You got this, stay in the sky on the edge of the Edderm.
Eventually you gotta come down though.
Storm. How do you give the code? Would you message us the code? Three alive. How many wins do you have?
What I want. Victory, yeah. How about a 2-kill victory?
Yes, bro. Let's go. Hi, Pat. GG.
Mr. Scientific Gamer, I did it. Congratulations to the V-Bucks winner, Hazim. Congratulations to the V-Bucks winner, Hazim Mohammed. Congratulations, Mohammed. Send me a friend request on Epic and I will personally let you know the code for the Xbox gift card.
Thank you.
That being said, we are
bro.
doing another one, ladies and gentlemen. On my next win, we are giving away another PSN or another Xbox gift card. Whichever the winner prefers. All you gotta do is be in here when I get a victory royale. That's all you gotta do. Right, Hazim? Hazim just did it. He laid the blueprint for you, Tabasco. Tabasco, you're next. Tabasco, stick around and you'll be next.
Will do. When do I add you?
Add me right now, send me an epic friend request. I'll get you the Xbox gift card code before the end of the stream. You can add me now, send me a friend request to Epic. I'll accept it, I'll bring you into a party privately and then I'll just tell you the code. You can write it down or something. Tabasco, you still there? Stay
I
active
will
in
add
the
you from my laptop and send you message.
Well, can't you just add me? Don't you play on Xbox? Just send me an epic friend request through your Xbox. But whatever, yeah, do whatever you want, I guess.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Stay here, Tabasco, and stay active in the chat, and you got a real good chance on the next win, which might be after this match. Try to stay active in the chat. That's the key to it. I like guys that stay active in the chat. Keep the chat alive.
Yeah, but my gold ran out.
What does that mean your gold ran out? What does that mean? Does anybody know what that means? His gold ran out.
I'll try stat active. I'm just doing some schoolwork, bro.
Schoolwork? School's canceled. You ain't gotta worry about doing schoolwork for another year yet.
You need gold subscription to play Fortnite.
No fucking way. Are you kidding me? You need a gold subscription to play it on Xbox? I don't think so. That's the only system you need to pay to play, or what?
Yeah, I know, but my school said me work so I don't fall behind. Yeah, I'm sure.
It sucks. Ew.
I know.
Holy shit, that guy, holy fucking Christ, he lasered the shit out of me. Who is that?
Accept my Fortnite friend request. I sent you one. I'm COD Bros 789. Let's go.
Come on, get in the fucking plane already. Jeez.
I never find llamas.
Now he's after me. He knows he's got me weak now and he's after me.
Same.
There's another llama right there below me. Another llama right there below me. Said
Chopper fight.
There's a lot on the line here too. Basically 2 llamas on the line. I just can't get this guy off me.
See if you can escape him and then heal.
Come the fuck on. From who? After I got in 5 fucking things.
I'm hurt, spend 0M.
Fucking bitch. There's 2 fucking llamas right there.
Unlucky. Accept my request, please.
Fucker. I couldn't get away from him, Tabasco. I played it kind of stupid though. I should have stepped out onto my helicopter and used a couple of them fucking, I should have stepped out onto the wing of my helicopter and used a couple of them fucking, bandage bazookas. Instead of fucking doing it on the ground there. Damn, there's 2 llamas on the line there. Fuck.
Can you please accept my friend request? I'm hurt, spend 0M.
Yes, I'm gonna accept it, but I'm in a match. What the fuck? But yes, it's Mohammed. I will be accepting it, and like I said, you'll have to, before the end of this stream, I'm gonna give the code to you.
Okay. And I'm the only one in chat again.
If that's true, you got a good chance of winning.
I'm just going to get my charger. I'm back. You need to go to circle.
Oh wow. So you can still take fall damage in some gay spots. But
I'll be back in 5 minutes.
I hope so.
Hi, I am here. The storm. I'm back. Where are the codes?
Uh-oh.
Tobias, I can't see you in chat.
This ain't looking good. No, come on. You fucking kidding me.
I can't see you. Use the crash pads. GG. Noob. Unlucky. Please accept my request. Accept the friend request, bro. He's playing deaf. When are the codes? Why aren't you accepting the request? Hello, smoke some crack and you will become better. Hello? Smoke crack, I think it is cool. My guy, accept the friend request while you are in the bush. Yes, sir.
One on one. No fucking way, I can't believe I blew that. Cannot believe I blew it. I quit. I'm done. I'm done. I quit. I quit.
Like, please be honest, are you going to accept the friend request or not?
No,
Because I'm tired. A. GG. Are you going to accept the friend request? Give me the code. Bro, I won. Give me the code. Give me my Cody. Code. My code. Give me it. My code. Give it to me. I won. It. My code, brew. I won it. I'm the only one who watched. Give me it. Don't be a jerk. If you don't give me it, you're a dumbass.
Hi, ugly. Call me ugly now.
You're ugly. And you look like a cow that makes a noise of a broken motorboat mixed with the cow. You little shit.
Clanking. Come on. Oh, little Dixie. Little Dixie. Little Dix. Come here, little Dixie. Come on. Little Dixie, come here. Here, little Dixie.
The other guy left, so does that mean I won LOL?
Little Dixie, come on. Come on.
No okay LOL. Sir? You suck ass at Fortnite.
I know. Come on, bud. Come on. Jumping and moaning.
fat pig. Yes, his fat pig. Ugly noob. Ha ha ha. His goat fat. Noob zero viv. Ha ha ha. Fat berry pig. No friends. EZCR4 Saigiri. Sup, Pat?
Mentally get their head together for the game. Because it's a complete mental game. Bill Lambert is really good at dealing and having us mentally ready and having us at a point knowing if we're going to be tougher, we have to be mentally tough.
It's pretty cool that you did come full circle and be able to play for Phil Jackson later in your career. And talking about switching teams, Dennis Rodman, so he goes from absolutely torturing the Bulls to San Antonio, which honestly was as awkward a fit as I have ever covered of any team in the NBA. And then it really worked for the Worm in Chicago. Why?
It worked in Chicago because, one, it was back in the city. He was a small-time guy that went to a city in Detroit. It wasn't a huge city, but going to that city and him seeing life, New York and Los Angeles and Las Vegas and now Chicago, he was literally able to spread his wings, to say. And James Edwards was also on that team, I got to tell you, Hannah. So Buddha was on that squad with us. So it was 3 ex-Pistons on the Bulls team, which made it nothing but better. But I also know that they realized that Dennis was a hard worker. And when you're a hard worker, because you had to play against them, that's the guys you want to on the team. Guys with great mental health on the court. You would want to have great mental health all the time, but on court is exactly how you want it. And working with Phil, like I said, the NBA is like the IBM. If I work in the Detroit office or the New York office or the Los Angeles office, you're playing in the NBA. You're an NBA pro, and you should be a professional at all times.
Yeah, I mean, Phil, 11 titles, unbelievable. Finally, as Isaiah pointed out this morning, your Pistons played and won championships in an era where you had to go through Larry Bird, you had to go through Magic Johnson, you had to go through Michael Jordan. And I know this documentary is about MJ and the Bulls, but before I let you go, what is it that you want people to know and appreciate about the Bad Boys, about that era and those championship teams?
That we had a complete love for one another. We were there for one another because, Hannah, you were there. Everybody else was against us. So it was just us against the world. And we stood it. We literally dealt with being cheated in 1988 against the Lakers, whether you can check the film, and literally coming back the next year with a more intense attitude to win the championship, and then another intense attitude after they traded away my brother Rick Mahorn, my mentor. We had to pull it back together and win again. We literally may have wore the black hat, but we were the good guys, and we still are.
Well, Jordan called beating the Pistons in that series in some ways better than winning a championship, and that pretty much tells you all you need to know. Spider, it's just great to chat with you. Thank you.
You look great.
Stay safe. So do you, Spider. Good to see you. All these years later, my friend. Take care.
The first ever virtual NFL draft is officially open. I think they're a little happy.
Jerry Jones conducted the draft from the quarter of $1 billion yacht.
Hey, he
It looked like he's a real life genius, a virtual artist. Hi, Bill.
That was a fantastic watch. The 2020 NFL Draft is in the books. There's Mel Kiper Jr. joining us now at Sports Center. Mel, let's look ahead to the fall for a moment. If there's no college football season in 2020, how does that impact players entering the 2021 draft?
Will there be all-star games? Will there be a combine workout? Will there be pro days? I think about this past year, there were a few pro days, not many, but you had the combine workout. And still, teams were a little upset that, hey, we're not postponing the draft. We're going to have it in late April, but we don't have the benefit of the medical recheck and all those pro days. And now you may end up with, like I say, not a season, all-star game, or combine, and then you would have two sets of rookies coming in. Is the college football going to push it through spring? How would that impact the draft? And timing of that, would you play college games, draft takes place, and the player gets hurt? So it's so many unknowns, Jay. It's all speculation, but obviously you just have to adjust to whatever happens.
Whatever happens, the NFL Draft is almost certain to go on as scheduled. With that in mind, give us a way too early look at your top 5 prospects for the 2021 draft, starting with number 5.
Yeah, in a couple weeks, I'll have this up on ESPN.com, all the positional breakdown, top 25 big boards all ready for next year. But guess what? I was Michael Parsons, linebacker, Penn State, all over the field, 6'3", about 245 pounds, got 109 tackles, 5 sacks, 14 tackles lost. That sack number will probably be double digits this coming year. They lose 5 key starters on defense, but he's the difference maker. He's the impact performer. He's a potential top 5 pick. He's in right now at number 5. And look at the really strong class at the top. Don't Jamar Chase just dominate when the games were the most important. He improved dramatically from what he had done 2 years ago as a freshman. 84 catches, averaged 21 to a catch. Soldiers against A.J. Terrell. A.J. Terrell was the 16th pick in the draft. Quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons. This is a kid with great talent. Had 9 catches in that Clemson game and a couple touchdowns. He's the A.J. Green, Julio Jones potentially. Follow this draft coming up. Penny Sewell. We've had offensive tackles, left tackles go. And number 1 in the top 3. This kid will as well. 6'6", 330 pounds. He's only allowed 1 sack the last 2 years. He'll be a true junior. Penny Sewell, highly regarded coming out of high school, is not done anything to say I'm not worthy of being an elite pick. I think he could be the 2nd pick, 3rd pick probably at the latest in this draft, behind what should be 2 big-time quarterback prospects. Justin Fields, for those of George, all he did was lead this team to victory after victory. 67.2 completion percentage, 41 touchdowns, only 3 picks. You see the athleticism, which is today's NFL, gives that full versatility. Justin Fields will be right there challenging the #1 pick overall, or to be the #1 pick overall, along with Trevor Lawrence. He's been considered the Andrew Luck of this draft, a guaranteed #1 guy. Justin Fields may have something to say about that. Now, Trevor Lawrence did finish great. Ohio State game, uneven. Then he quickly got out here for Sean Wade on the sack, the targeting, no Sean Wade, great corner, and then Lawrence got hot. National championship game, only 48.6 completion percentage against that talent-laden LSU team, but he has all the skills you need, Jay, to be right there. If he's not #1, it's because Justin Fields does a great job and maybe overtakes them. But I think Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields, those two quarterbacks, are going to be battling it out for the top spot.
Lawrence, by the way, has lost just one game as a starter at Clemson against Joe Burrow and LSU at last year's national championship game. Mel, stay safe. Thank you again for being with us. Appreciate it. Thank you, Jay. Take care, pal.
And coming up in 6 minutes in our excerpt from the next episode of The Last Dance, two MJ's lanes for leaks to the media during that bold final championship run and dramatic season. And in 9 minutes, with sports stars pitching in, the founder of the All-In Challenge tells us how he came up with the idea to help feed the hungry in our country.
Howdy, folks. Colonel Sanders here at home, just like you. Meal times can be overwhelming, especially when you're trying to work, teach, and parent all at once. So let us help with KFC's $20 fill-ups. It's like a home-cooked meal you don't have to cook. Drive-thru's open or get it delivered free by Grubhub.
Right now, it feels like the world's standing still. But if you look to the land, it's a whole different story. From farms to backyards, wheels are turning, seeds are being planted, animals are getting fed, grass is growing, and families are giving their all to the soil. Because no matter how uncertain things get, the land never stops. So to all those loyal to the land, we say thank you. We're here for you, because we all run together. The Great American Outdoors. Closer than you think. With battery power made by steel. Save $40 on any AK Series double battery bundle. Shop online, pick up at any of over 9,000 local steel dealers. Real steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com.
We're finally back out in our yard, but so are they.
Turf Builder Triple Action. Includes weeds, prevents crabgrass, and feeds so grass can thrive. Guaranteed.
Our backyard, back.
This is a Scott's yard.
They are the heroes, the helpers, working on the front lines. And here's one small way that you can help them in return. Complete your 2020 census today. 2020 census data helps communities plan funding for hospitals, clinics, and emergency services across the country. An accurate count of public health officials, and first responders identify the resources they need to protect our communities. Complete your census at 2020census.gov and help shape our future.
Outsmarting a fast-beat Nessie with Duluth Flex Try-on-the-Fly Pass. Step 1. Locate the legend. Step 2. Flex up. And unwet up. Duluth Flex Try-on-the-Fly Pass. Make your legs legendary. Only at DuluthTrading.com.
Lol, what is going on?
We'll be back. And our favorite stars will make us curious. But for now, we're all rooting for a different kind of hero. And doing our part
To make a difference. Keeping our distance.
and protecting the most vulnerable.
Let's embody the best class of sports. Teamwork. Sacrifice. Resilience. One goal. Together. I have structured settlement, but I need passions now.
when you need it.
Oh, yeah. The Hidden Complete Hair Kit is life-changing. Now that's what I'm talking about. I have the fullest and healthiest hair I've had in years. Get your party started with a free online visit. Go to coordinates.com. The mind is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it becomes. And while the greats master the body, the greats master the mind.
Hannah Storm and Jay Harris with you on this Monday Sports Center. Flashing back to this date, April 27th in 1997, Michael Jordan and the Bulls facing the Bullets in the first round of the Eastern Conference quarterfinals. Bulls up 1-0 in the series, and Jordan would have a very special night, scoring the fadeaway, 35 points through 3 quarters, and in the fourth quarter, still absolutely dominant. Let's listen to the great Mark Albert, who had the call on NBC.
Chicago ready to go on 2-zip.
Oh my goodness, just blowing right by Juwan Howard there. Jordan driving to his right finger roll. That is definitely worth another look. Vintage MJ. Check it out. The tongue out, the concentration, finger roll off the glass. It was still a tight game, 3-point game, 40 seconds left, and Jordan shaking off the double team, drives left, 20 points in the fourth quarter. Here is MJ after the performance.
They really giving us a good run for our money tonight. I was the only one who could get some offense generated. You know, initially, I just got into that mode and I couldn't really get out of it.
A smile says it all. 55 points, 22 to 35 on the floor, his 8 to 50 points. Playing the game in second place with 4 such games. And like so many families last night, we were absolutely glued to episodes 3 and 4 of The Last Dance, presented by ESPN Films and Netflix. It's been so entertaining, also so educational about the 6-time champion Bulls, that final championship season, everything that was going on behind the scenes, from Scottie Pippen's unhappiness about his contract to Phil Jackson coaching with the full knowledge that he was out after the season, MJ saying he wouldn't play for anybody else. Those of us who were covering the team remember very well that there was no shortage of drama. And today, we are bringing you an excerpt from what you're going to see this upcoming Sunday night about the Bulls' concerns regarding a leak in their locker room.
Jerry invited me to come to his room, and he had earmarked about 25 different quotations in the book. And he wanted me to sit and listen to him while he read them. And that started with, like, you know, who do you think could do this? Were you part of this?
While the early reports have brought a flurry of denials, players giving out sensitive information to the press is one surefire way to cause a division within the team.
I didn't contribute to that. That was Horace. He was telling everything that was happening within the group. You know, as we started winning championships, and everybody talked about Michael, and then everybody talked about everybody else, I mean, that really pissed off Horace. He felt slighted. He was in Michael's shadow. No, not one thing have I ever divulged to Sam Smith.
Speaking, of course, about Sam Smith, the renowned Chicago writer there who covered the Bulls for the entirety of the 6 championship runs. The Last Dance, a 10-part documentary series, will continue with episodes 5 and 6 on Sunday. Can't come soon enough. May 3rd at 9 o'clock Eastern. The 2 episodes are going to debut every Sunday night, uncensored on ESPN and censored on ESPN2. That'll be happening through May 17th.
By now, hopefully you've heard of the All-In Challenge. It's a fundraising effort for charities feeding the hungry during the COVID-19 pandemic. 100% of the proceeds benefit organizations providing food to those in need. And there are some incredible items from sports figures and celebrities for you to bid on. And we're joined now on SportsCenter by Fanatics Executive Chairman, 76ers co-owner, and founder of the All-In Challenge, Michael Rubin. Michael, thank you so much for being with us today. What motivated you to start the All In Challenge?
You know, I just have this core belief that as a leader in sports, leader in business, during the tough times, you've got a responsibility to step up. And there's no tougher time than what's going on in this pandemic. I don't think anyone's ever been challenged the way this country and this world's being challenged. I just felt it was our responsibility to try to make a big difference. And there's so many people that are hungry and that need food as a result of this pandemic that we want to see if we can make a real dent in the problem.
And there has been some serious buy-in from folks. What's your reaction to the strong response from the sports world?
Look, most of the people that we deal with in our business, most of the people we know, they're incredible individuals. So it's what people have done has been incredible, but it's what I expected people to do. When you see somebody like Magic Johnson, who literally, and he was one of the first people I called, he came up with an experience. He's literally going to fly somebody's home wherever they live and either spend time with their executive team or their kids or go to someone's bar mitzvah or just hang out and then take it back to LA at the Staples Center and then sit on the floor while their friends sit in a suite at a game. And that was just like one of the first experiences that came to us. So it's incredible. There's so many great experiences, so many great athletes stepping up to make a big difference here.
Yeah, that ain't bad. There are some more big ticket items from prominent athletes closing tomorrow. Anything you can tell us about those?
Yeah, well, the first one I was just saying is Max closes tomorrow night. That's an incredible one. The auction's only at $60,000 or $65,000 right now, which for that experience is pretty incredible. Remember, there's two ways that you can do this. If you're someone who wants to buy an expensive auction item and make a big difference, there's there. And then for everybody who just wants to donate either $10 or $25 for a chance for a sweepstakes, there's also incredible opportunities there. But the auctions that are closing tomorrow, Alex Rodriguez has a pretty incredible one. He has one of his 2 World Series trophies that he's put up for auction together within 1 hour of batting practice. That auction closes tomorrow night. Meek Mill's Rolls-Royce Phantom, that auction closes tomorrow night. Tom Brady for his first game in Tampa Bay has the shoes that he's going to wear, has his jersey. He's going to give you at the end of the first game and then take you to dinner or work out afterward. That's pretty incredible. Peyton Manning coming to where you live to play golf with you during the day with you and your friends, then go to dinner that night. So those are incredible auction items, but there's also so many different things where you can donate $10 or $25 to have a chance to win an incredible experience. So if you want to be in Kevin Hart's next movie, if you want to be in Leonardo DiCaprio or Robert De Niro's next movie, you can donate $10 or $25 for a chance to win. So we want this to be for everybody. Whether you want to buy a big auction item or whether you want to donate $10 or $25, we want to get everybody involved with this.
Very cool. While I have you here, I also want to ask you about the potential return of the NBA as co-owner of the Sixers. Adrian Wojnarowski joined us earlier to discuss certain teams being able to open their practice facilities as early as Friday. I know you want your team to practice too, but with Pennsylvania still under a stay-at-home order, what are you guys going to do?
Yeah, so I think first off, everyone in the world is anxious for sports to come back as soon as we can do it in a way that's safe for our players and our players' family and friends, and also for our fans. And as soon as we can do that, we want that to happen. Until that point in time, we want people to stay in shape, and so I think a lot of the players had wanted to work out and had wanted access to the practice facility. I wouldn't link necessarily players who want to stay in the best possible shape to win a season in any sports could or wouldn't start.
All right. Stay safe indeed. Founder of the All In Challenge, Michael Rubin, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for the All In Challenge. It's pretty cool. We appreciate your time on SportsCenter.
Thanks so much. We appreciate your support.
You can go to allinchallenge.com to see all of the once-in-a-lifetime sports experiences and items to bid on or enter to win, including those opportunities Michael talked about with Tom Brady and Peyton Manning.
What would you do? I bet you would do the USC experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Is that because of Halle Berry or because of the
UFC? I didn't even see that. Not to forget the ultimate experience from ESPN, the one day with the College Game Day crew and Halle Berry. They're working to raise tens of millions of dollars, and 100% of the proceeds benefit organizations providing food to those in need. If you want to participate or learn more about how these organizations help, visit allinchallenge.com.
Coming up in 5 minutes, Alex Smith's battle back from the brink of death. Alex Bell details how an infection almost ended his life and the surgery that saved him.
Cats will do anything for the irresistible taste of Temptations treats.
What are you doing?
Temptations. All it takes is a shake.
Howdy, folks. Colonel Sanders here at home, just like you. Meal times can be overwhelming, especially when you're trying to work, teach, and parent all at once. So let us help with KFC's $20 fill-ups. It's like a home-cooked meal you don't have to cook. Drive-thru's open or get it delivered free by Grubhub.
We welcome you to NFL Total Access. It's one of the best things about the National Football League.
Free agency frenzy is finally here.
There's always a fresh piece of news.
Gronkowski is refreshed. He's back with Tom Brady.
Always something to find out.
A massive trade involving one of the best wide receivers in the league.
As it unfolds right in front of our eyes.
He's got the speed, he's got the length, he's got the strength.
We know the league better than anyone, and we're there to make sure you do too.
Kansas City, you got a champion!
NFL Total Access, only on NFL Network.
If you need a new appliance now, no matter what kind of appliances you need, the Home Depot has the help you have. Complete your entire order online. Check ratings and reviews. Schedule free delivery. You get the appliances you need without even leaving home. Go online now to see special buy savings like the Samsung Top Load Laundry Pair. The Home Depot. How doers get more done.
After 225 years of Jim Beam, you'd think we just look back on our past. Nope. We're looking to our future. We're crafting new versions. Creating new ways to drink them. And teaching a new generation of distillers. So no, we're not raising the glass for the last 225 years. We're raising Jim Beam 225 years ago. You have a garden, you know, and then you start low down with gallons. Draw the line with Roundup. The Sure Shot wand extends with a protective shield to target weeds precisely and kill them right down to the root. Roundup brand, trusted for over 40 years.
Welcome to Drive Across America, brought to you by CarShield. I'm your host, Chris Berman. CarShield makes sure you don't pay for expensive car repairs. We all know the cars will break down. And if your car is out of warranty, those expensive repairs could really be a disaster. With coverage through CarShield, you'll never have to pay for covered repairs again, which is why I'm a very happy customer. How has CarShield helped you?
I saved $6,000 on my engine.
What about you?
They saved me $3,500 on my AC compressor.
Well, you heard it here, folks. CarShield is America's #1 auto protection provider for a reason.
An engine, transmission, or computer system breakdown could cost you thousands of dollars. But with CarShield, you'll never pay on covered repairs.
Don't drive another second without protection from CarShield. Why do we love CarShield?
Call now for a free and instant protection plan quote. Call 800-713-6154, 800-713-6154.
What will you do when the power goes out? Power outages can be unpredictable, inconvenient, and disruptive to your life. But with a Generac home standby generator, your life goes on uninterrupted because you'll have power when you need it the most.
24 days we were without power. I had water, I had ice, I had coffee, I had air conditioning. I was able to stay here because of Generac.
Get the safety, security, and peace of mind your family deserves with a home standby generator from Generac. 8 out of 10 home generators are Generac with thousands of satisfied customers.
Very good product. Very, very good reviews from everybody.
Prices start at just $19.99. And special financing is available with surprisingly affordable monthly payments. Call now to schedule your free in-home assessment, and you'll receive a 7-year extended warranty absolutely free. That's a $600 value. Call
Sports Center, Hannah Storm and Jay Harris. Ahead in 12 minutes, Will Chamberlain and Aaron Judge's first years rank in our top 10 rookie seasons of all time.
Yeah, we're doing that for a reason today. But first, on Outside the Lines on SportsCenter, Ryan Smith and Stefania Bell with a full story on the horrific nature of the leg injury that Washington quarterback Alex Smith suffered back in 2018 and the surgery that saved his life.
Perhaps the biggest surprise in the NFL draft's first round was Jordan Love being selected 26th as the heir apparent to Aaron Rodgers, just as Aaron Rodgers was to Brett Favre 15 years ago when he unexpectedly fell to the 24th pick to the Packers. The quarterback selected #1 overall that year, Alex Smith, who in his career has more passing yards than Steve Young and more touchdown passes than Troy Aikman. But when we last saw Alex Smith, he suffered a devastating leg injury during a game against the Houston Texans on November 18, 2018. What happened in the days that followed is a remarkable story of medicine and science, a roller coaster of danger, fear, and hope. Here's Stefania Bell with part one of our week-long series reviewing the E60 special, Project 11. And a warning here, due to potentially disturbing medical images, your discretion is advised.
I'm getting around on crutches, and I'm fine and kind of ready to go. And at that whole time, I've kind of been running an off and on little fever, kind of a mild fever.
A fever of 101.5 or less is normal. And if I remember, you spiked to 102, 102.3 or something. And so they do blood cultures. So the trauma docs went back and they looked at the wound and everything looked fine. The leg looked normal and beat up, but it didn't look infected. He just progressively got worse. And Alex's fever is through the roof and his blood pressure is dropped. Alex is not Alex anymore. It's test after test after test. I got a call then that his blood cultures are positive, meaning he has bacteria in his blood.
That bacteria in your blood causes issues like blood pressure issues and heart rate issues. You become septic. And that's when you're uncontrolled, you can die. I remember the doctors coming in and unwrapping my leg in the middle of the night. And clearly they were alarmed about something.
It was black. I mean, the blisters were huge. It was something you wouldn't even, I mean, I couldn't have fathomed seeing this in like a war movie. They took him back into surgery, opened all that up, and I will never, ever forget this as those surgeons walked out and said, well, we're in life-saving mode now, and life-saving mode, but it's in that order.
All right, and for more, let's welcome in Stefania Bell, ESPN injury analyst, who spent over a year documenting Alex Smith's injury and his journey for E60. Stefania, the pictures of that injury are just harrowing. What was happening, in layman's terms, to Alex Smith at that time?
Well, you see, he's fighting for his life. And essentially what happened is he developed a serious infection after his injury. And when your body is fighting infection like that, you can develop sepsis. And sepsis is a condition where the body is so hard to fight, working to fight infection, that it can start damaging itself, resulting in organ damage and ultimately death. So it really became a life-saving situation as the top priority at that time.
And you know, Stefania, these days we're living in a time where we're basically all dependent on guidance from the medical community for everything from how we interact with each other to, for some of us, how to stay alive. What was it like for Alex Smith to adapt to a medically dependent lifestyle?
Ryan, you're talking about an uber competitive, driven guy who thinks that if he puts his mind to something, he can will it to happen. And as you can imagine, with that kind of an injury situation, a life-threatening illness, you don't have total control. And I think that was definitely something new for him. I mean, there was times where he wasn't really totally coherent just because of the medication he had to be on. And as he came out of it and starts to work his way back, I think one of the things he shared with me that I took away the most was that he learned that timelines in medicine were flexible. And I think everyone can relate to that right now. You know, they would tell him, okay, in 3 or 4 weeks we hope to do X. In 6 weeks we hope to do Y. And it would really depend on how he was recovering. So he got used to, it depends. He got used to being flexible and adaptable. And I think right now, everyone can certainly relate to that.
Absolutely. It is so difficult to see it that way, but in fact, that is the way it is in terms of flexibility on those timelines. Let me ask you, as I understand it, his wife, Elizabeth, he relied heavily on her throughout all of this. Tell us in what way and what that experience says about her.
She is truly the unsung hero of this story, although when you tune in Friday night and watch, I think you'll all understand why. Remember, there were times where Alex was really not fully coherent. So all the information going back and forth in real time between the doctors who were trying to save him was going through Elizabeth. And Elizabeth was, of course, communicating with Alex's parents who were there as well. But as the wife and mother of his children, not only was she having to make decisions, she was having to care for her kids at the same time and be a mom and try to keep them from worrying. And I think just all of that and handling it with grace and strength. I heard this over and over from the medical team, and I learned it myself spending time with them. She might be as tough as Alex, if not perhaps a little bit more.
Wow, and you can even see in the piece her toughness and the way she stood by him. Just incredible as you describe it. Stefania, thank you.
Thank you, Ryan.
All right, well, tomorrow on Outside the Lines on SportsCenter, former tight end Vernon Davis, one of Smith's go-to guys on offense in San Francisco and Washington, joins us. And don't miss Project 11 premiering Friday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN.
Thanks, Ryan. Up next, where Tiger Woods, Randy Moss, and Mike Trout rank in our top 10 rookie seasons of all time. How none of them actually made our top 5. Yep, we've got some explaining to do.
If only there was a place nearby you could get one of these. Or these. Good thing they're sold literally everywhere business is done. I'm pretty sure you could buy them at a bank. Not sorry, Reese's.
Howdy, folks. Colonel Sanders here at home, just like you. Meal times can be overwhelming, especially when you're trying to work, teach, and parent all at once. So let us help with KFC's $20 fill-ups. It's like a home-cooked meal you don't have to cook. Drive-thru's open or get it delivered free by Grubhub.
Hello, son. I think it's time you join the family business.
Yeah, come on. I'm
going to Old Spice, Fiji?
Dad, I'm an Old Spice body and face wash kind of guy.
Moisturizing.
Thanks for sharing your DIY haircuts. Thanks for sharing your savage moves, and especially your awkward ones. Thanks for sharing your cute kids and your adorable pets. Now it's our turn to share with the Geico Gift Bag. A 15% credit on car and motorcycle policies for both current and new customers. And because we're committed for the long haul, credit lasts your full policy term. So thanks again. One good share deserves another.
Since everyone's at home, binge button all, Planet Fitness is bringing the judgment-free zone to you. Join us on Facebook Live for daily home work-ins, like puppy playtime, homeschool recess, and race car cardio. Plus, we put our gym in your pocket with an app packed full of workouts for everyone and trainers you totally high-five if you could. Ditch the binge button and work in with us. Download our free app today. Planet Fitness. United we move.
We're finally back out in our yard, but so are they.
Scott's Turf Builder Triple Action. It kills weeds, prevents crabgrass, and feeds so grass can thrive. Guaranteed.
Our backyard is back.
This is a Scott's yard.
Hey Google, fill 150 milliliters from faucet.
Voice IQ technology. See what Delta can do.
This is Corona Hard Seltzer. The only hard seltzer made with pure peach vibes. With the taste of blue skies in every can. And a refreshing splash of fruit flavors. 0 grams carbs, 0 grams sugars, 90 calories. There's a lot to like about that.
What is my girl Will?
Ooh, it feels nice. You have to feel it.
It's like the world's standing still. But if you look to the land, it's a whole different story. From farms to backyards, wheels are turning. Seeds are being planted. Animals are getting fed. Grass is growing. And families are giving their all to the soil. Because no matter how uncertain certain things get, the land never stops. So to all those linked to the land, we say thank you. We're here for you because we all run together.
The fighting spirit is one we all share. That's why Modelo is donating $500,000 to the First Responders First Initiative to support the workers on the front line against COVID-19 for fighting for us.
Well,
Teamwork, sacrifice, resilience, one goal, together.
One team for sure. Coming up next here is Sports Center, followed by NFL Live at 3. Rachel Nichols in the Jump and our NFL Draft Team Grade Special. Sports Center's back at 5:30 with the PTI guys joining the show later. And we cap the day with Sports Center with SEC.
Coming out of the game, Lambeer said, we're not shaking their hands. This is how we're leaving.
We didn't shake hands, no, we just walked up the court. Guys, thank you for kicking our ass.
Knowing what we know now, in the aftermath of what took place, I think all of us would have stopped and said, hey, congratulations, like they do now. But during that period of time, that's just not how it was passed.
Well, I know it's trouble. Whatever he says now, you know it wasn't his true actions then. It's time enough to think about it. Or the reaction of the public that's kind of changed his perspective of it. You can show me anything you want. There's no way you can convince me he was...
We are diving right into that. You just saw an excerpt from The Last Dance that aired episodes 3 and 4. That was last night. And obviously it focused a lot on the Bad Boy Pistons and the Chicago Bulls rivalry. Joining us now, a star from that team, the Hall of Famer, friend of the show, Isaiah Thomas. And Isaiah, I said this to you in the commercial break, really riveting television this morning with you and Jalen and Greeny on Get Up. And we hope to continue that conversation. Isaiah, I want to pick up right what we just heard. Michael Jordan says he still hates that Pistons team, your Pistons team, to this day. What's your reaction to that?
It's okay for him to hate the team, but to have me to have us to personalize it, in terms of us as individuals, then that's different. I mean, the rivalry was the rivalry, and teams, they don't like each other when they're playing, but that's on the floor. That's not off the floor. And we competed hard against the Chicago Bulls. But by the way, we competed hard against the Celtics, the Lakers, and all of the 76ers. So, competition in sport is good. I mean, when people compete, strategize, and everything else, that's what we love. But it stays in between those 4 lines. This appears that it's gone outside of the 4 lines, and I think Jordan said something that was interesting in that take. He said, "Well, given time, he may have a different opinion." And of course, in that moment when we had lost, and remember, we were champions, so we were coming down from the throne. They were ascending to the throne, and everybody's emotions are different during that particular time. And while we were coming down and they were rising, during that emotional period of time, did we do everything correctly? No. Did they do everything correctly? No. But that was it. We walked off. We didn't shake their hands. And, if you want to contextualize it, there's a lot of other stuff that was going on around that situation. But, that's what happened.
Zeke, 2 quick points I'd like to make, and then a question. Number 1, I have no problem with what MJ had to say, because he was talking about what he felt at that particular moment in time, as opposed to how he feels right now, in terms of about you personally. I know he'll always hate the Pistons, but how he felt about you personally then is different than how he felt now. That's number 1. That's what I took from it. Number 2, I think that when you look at you guys, we can't ignore the fact that Michael Jordan, up 3-0 on you guys that year, was quoted in front of the media as saying, you guys were bad champions, you were bad for basketball. So going into that game 4, it's kind of predictable that y'all will react the way that y'all reacted based on how he talked about a champion. Having said that, here's my question to you. you were widely recognized as the leader. So how do you feel when you hear MJ say what he said about you? And how do you feel about people who are looking at you and saying, what do you mean Bill Laimbeer said we're going to walk off the floor together? It's Isaiah Thomas's team. It wasn't Bill Laimbeer's team. How do you answer that?
So let me compartmentalize these three different questions, because I have to, I speak for Detroit, Michigan area on this answer during that period of time. I also speak for our Detroit Pistons team as a captain during that particular time, and then I'll speak for Isaiah Thomas. So in the context of your question, you said, Jordan after Game 3 went on and said that the Pistons were bad for basketball. We were bad people. We didn't earn our championships, and so forth and so on. Well, that didn't sit right with us as the Detroit Pistons basketball team, nor did it sit right with Detroit. Because at that time, and still today, Detroit is looked at as a city that is always looked over, second class, not good enough, so forth and so on. So when he made those comments, not only did he make those comments about us as a basketball team not earning and not being worthy of all 2 championships, but then he was talking about our city not being worthy of and not being recognized and not as good as, a city like a Chicago or New York. Now, the third piece of that is the captain of the basketball team. We prided ourselves as one unit. We march like soldiers in terms of this is how we act, this is what we do, and this is what we do as a unified group. And nobody broke ranks. And that's what we prided ourselves on, and that's how we acted and conducted ourselves as a team.
Come on, Lionian.
And privately. And so when Laimbeer, as a co-captain and one of our leaders, said, hey, this is how we're going to respond to them talking so negatively about us after Game 3 and saying that we did not earn it, we did not deserve it, we wasn't worthy of being champions. After the journey that we had taken through Boston, LA, so forth and so on, emotionally, mentally, we were all in a place of, hey, that really hurt. Because it's one thing for Phil Jackson to speak that way about, a champion. But for Michael Jordan at that time, who hadn't become a champion, he hadn't won yet. And for him to pass judgment, key word, for him to pass judgment on our team and us as individuals, that hurt, and that's the context of us leading up to saying, okay, we're just going to walk off and be done with it.
Isaiah, in 87, you made the comments about Bird. You did it a little tongue-in-cheek. It was taken out of context. It was a big controversy. And Larry Bird sat next to you.
Time out. Yep. So Dennis Rodman made the comment, right? So it was Rodman denied. Yep. So it's not. So get it straight.
By the way, I remember that.
And then tell how it really happened. Okay.
Right, and I remember, by the way, it was, I've seen it recently. I've refreshed my memory recently and heard it, and you were agreeing with Robin about something, but you were doing it kind of tongue-in-cheek about Bird. But Larry Bird sat with you at a podium, side to side, and said, hey, Isaiah said this, that's good enough for me, we're good. So that's how Bird handled a little controversy with you. The fact that Jordan is unable to do that with you, to basically sit there with you and saying, look, he explained that, bygones be bygones, or that's good enough for me. What do you think that says about MJ?
I don't know what it says about him. I don't want to get into that, because I do know we have moments, we all have lapses in moments in terms of some we would have said on camera or didn't say on camera, right? So I'm not gonna say, oh, Michael, I don't like Michael, because I do. You know, I have great respect for Michael Jordan. I have great admiration for what he's done in the game of basketball and also done, you know, in the game of life in terms of being a fantastic businessman, being the owner of a team. I mean, you know, he's been great for all of us. I mean, Max, Stephen A., we on this show because of, you know, Jordan was so good at what he was doing, right? So we can have these jobs to debate and talk about it and everything. So, you know, the game and everyone owes him a great deal of respect and admiration. But, you know, in terms of, you know, myself and Larry, the way we always looked at those times, and Larry said it at his press conference. He was like, hey, look, you know, we say things in the heat of the moment, we get emotional, and then we move on. And, you know, just at the All-Star game in Chicago, it's myself, Larry Bird, Quinn Buckner, Larry's daughter, and who else was there? We were all at an event together, and we standing there and we talking, we taking pictures, and it's no big deal because what happened on the court was on the court. This seems to have gone off the court, which is unfortunate.
Well, I think it's important to recognize the fact that it's a documentary and you're telling about the history. I brought up this morning how Jalen Rose, I thought, was unfairly criticized when he said what he said about Grant Hill, because he was talking about what he and his team at the Fab Five felt as 19-year-olds at the University of Michigan, not a 40-plus-year-old man 25 years later or so. And I think that same is applicable here. I've personally spoken to Michael Jordan over the last few months. He not only sat up there and said he has no issue with Isaiah Thomas, he has profound respect for you, but he also called Isaiah Thomas the second greatest point guard in the history of basketball behind Magic Johnson. MJ told me that personally. So this ain't about now. This is about what he felt back then. And I also like to point out that when Bird walked off the court as a Boston Celtic against Shaw, not only did no one criticize Bird for it, barely anyone asked Bird about walking off the court when they had lost to you guys in the conference finals and you had grabbed the hair. They didn't even ask Bird about walking off the court. I guess him being white had something to do with that, or maybe it was something else. I don't know. Having said all of that, Isaiah, my question to you is this. Can you put into context, or could you explain to us what kind of effect do you believe you walking off the court behind Lambeer after losing to the Chicago Bulls has had on your career, your reputation, your life as an NBA phenom and Hall of Famer? Could you put into context what has happened in your career since that happened?
You know, I would say I paid a heavy price for that moment, and if that moment meant that I'm not selected to be on the Dream Team because of that moment, that's hurtful. That cuts deep. Because in 1980, I was selected as the male athlete by the U.S. Olympic Committee, and in 1980, the Olympics were boycotted. And the only glaring hole that's missing on my resume is an Olympic gold medal. I was the MVP in 1979 in the Pan Am Games, the youngest player to have ever won an MVP at that time in the Pan Am Games in 1979. I was in high school. In 80 on the Olympic team, and now to be left off the Dream Team. And the criteria for the Dream Team was, you know, who's done the most for the game, who's won the most championships. And at that time, I think Magic had won 4, Bird had won 3, I had won 2, and Jordan, had just won 1. So I thought that I was safe. So not making that team, that definitely hurt. That hurt me tremendously.
Max, give me a second to follow here. Very important follow-up, because covering the league, Isaiah, it's fair that I throw this at you. There are folks that have when they talk about the Dream Team, they bring up 2 things. It wasn't about Michael Jordan wanting you off that team. It was a plethora of players, supposedly, purportedly, who didn't want you on the team, And they also say that Chuck Daly got left off the hook. The late, great Daddy Rich, as John Sally loved to call him. He was your coach as a champion. He was the original coach of the Dream Team. He was the coach having the power to bring you on a team, and he didn't bring you on a team. What's your response to that?
Those plethora of players, you know, every year, I was the president of the Players Association 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, unanimously voted as president of the NBA Players Association by those plethora of players to represent them. And it just seems kind of fun. And by the way, I said unanimously. So yes, I represented Jordan at the table. I represented Pippen at the table, and I've never heard Jordan. Honestly, I've never heard Jordan really say that he didn't want me on the Dream Team. Now I heard people say that for him, but I've never heard it come out of his mouth. The only two people I really heard say anything is Pippen and Karl Malone. Those other plethora of players, I haven't heard them say anything. So this is what you and Max should do. Tell those plethora of players. Yeah, cite them off. Tell me who those plethora of players were.
If they gave me permission, I would. If they gave me permission, I'd tell you exactly who they were.
Now wait. You can't not saying that they have to give you permission. I understand your journalistic integrity. But this is what I'm saying about us as men, right? Hey, I'm man enough to stand up and say what I like, what I don't like, who I don't like, and you ain't never heard me say, well, off the record, Stephen A., this guy's blah, 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 blah. No, if I got something to say, I stand up and I say it. And I sit in front of your face and say it. I'm from the west side of Chicago. I don't hide from nobody. But
you do know a lot of players who do. But you do know a lot of players who do hide.
And by the way, I've called some of them out because some of them have said some stuff on the radio and on TV, and I've called them up personally and said, hey, I heard that you said this on the radio and TV. Now, I was just with you the other day, and you couldn't say that to my face? You couldn't say it to my face, but you can hide on TV and say you're going to... But when we face to face, right next to each other, where you at? That's all I'm saying.
By the way, Jordan
All right, we'll leave it there. No player has beat MJ more than this man right here, Isaiah Thomas. Guys, we're going to have much more we want to talk about here with Isaiah in the docuseries, including his former teammate Dennis Rodman taking a vacation during the playoffs. Can you imagine that happening today? The fellas react after the break.
The Last Dance Debate is brought to you by Facebook.
Together, we can do this. Our spirit is what unites us. It is what bonds us and reminds us we are all one. Which is why if you need a vehicle during this time, we are offering 0% financing for 84 months with no payments for 90 days. And the ability to shop and buy from the safety of your home. Better days are ahead, and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram will help you drive forward.
Every home has things it needs. Things that need to be maintained, fixed, or replaced. The Home Depot is here to help you get it done. You can find it, order online, and have it brought to your door with free delivery on over 1 million items. We have the essentials you need, the know-how you may need to do it yourself, and low prices that make it all possible. The Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
I'm confused.
Confused about what? Everything okay?
Yeah, I want to see one price on my phone bill.
That doesn't sound confusing, Mama. You're on T-Mobile. Taxes and fees are included.
Oh, come on. There's always extra fees.
Not on T-Mobile, Mama.
Why can't all my bills be like this?
I don't know, Mama. Bye, Mama. Love you.
Auntie?
With T-Mobile, taxes and fees are included. That's right. No extra taxes and fees, so what you see is what you pay.
Are you ready to sink your teeth into a lemon pepper, sweet and spicy Korean cute-tastic mango habanero
masterclass in all things wings?
Yes, I am.
How you doing?
Get free delivery for a limited time at wingstop.com.
Did you know Prilosec OTC can stop frequent heartburn before it begins? Heartburn happens when stomach acid refluxes into the esophagus. Prilosec OTC uses a unique delayed release formula that helps it pass through the tough stomach acid. It then works to turn down acid production, blocking heartburn at the source. With just one pill a day, you get 24-hour heartburn protection. Prilosec OTC. One pill a day, 24 hours, zero heartburn.
Have you ever wanted to learn a new language like French, Spanish, or Russian, but thought it would be too difficult and time-consuming? Then go to Babbel.com and try it for free. Babbel works because it's built around real life. It teaches you everyday practical conversations that you will actually use. In 15 minutes a day, you'll be on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. Babbel uses a modern conversation-based technique that makes language engaging, fun, and memorable. It starts by teaching you words and phrases. Then, sentences gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations about real-life topics. Babbel is created by language experts who use the spaced repetition method to help you learn quickly and remember what you learned. With Babbel, you can speak a new language, because language isn't just about learning new words. It's about learning a culture, a mindset, and a new point of view. Babbel, language for life. Go to Babbel.com and try it for free today.
Though miles, walls, and circumstances keep us apart, we're all on the same team. 4 Imprint. Products for bringing teams together.
Introducing the future of fitness. It's every class you can imagine. Live.
Welcome back to the mirror.
You got this, John. And on demand. It's bar. Boxing. Strength. Cardio. Yoga. And more. It's an interactive.
Relax your shoulders, Dan.
Goal crushing.
Keep that heart rate up.
Whole family. Whole body fitness machine.
Finally got my ear open. This is so cool.
You did an awesome job, and I hope you feel it.
The future of fitness is at home. The Mirror.
Wednesday on ESPN in the app, we continue our weekly look back at some of the most significant games in NBA Finals history with a couple of Game 5 clinchers. The Shaq, Kobe, Karl Malone, Gary Payton Lakers versus the Pistons from 04 at 7 Eastern. Then the Heat's big three of LeBron, D. Wade, and Bosh versus the Spurs from 2014.
Dennis says, I need a vacation. And I look at Phil and say, Phil, what do you mean vacation? He says, he needs a vacation. He needs some time off to let loose. We look at Dennis and say, Dennis, what are you going to do? He says, well, I need to go to Vegas. So he looks at Dennis and says, Dennis, well, can your vacation be like 48 hours? And Dennis is like, I got no other choice. I take whatever you can give me. I'll take the 48 hours. 48 hours. You got 48 hours, Dennis. And I'm looking at Phil like, you ain't gonna get that dude back in 48 hours.
Dennis come back on time.
He didn't come back on time. Ready to go get his ass out of bed. And I'm not gonna say what's in his bed and where he was and blah, blah, blah.
My goodness. All right, you're just seeing an excerpt there from The Last Dance that aired Sunday, episodes 3 and 4. The Hall of Famer Isaiah Thomas back here with us. Isaiah, I want to talk about Dennis Rodman, obviously a common denominator, your teammate on the Pistons, and then with the Bulls. What was your reaction to that clip of Rodman, knowing him intimately?
Knowing Dennis like I know him, and like we knew him, the Dennis Rodman that I knew in Detroit never drank, never smoked, never, gambled or did any of those things. And like I said, we were a tight unit with rules and regulations. And what I watch, and we all get a chance to peek behind the curtain. And the Dennis Rodman that I see is, it's a person that's winning championships and doing all these marvelous things on the court. But off the court, I see a Dennis Rodman that is asking for help and needs help.
you know, the drinking excessively is not a Dennis Rodman that I knew. And, you know, as we see later in life, he's had some battles with alcohol. And I felt that, you know, during that period of time, just watching and then opening up the curtain and peeking into the Bulls and seeing how they operated, you know, Rodman, maybe he was asking for help as opposed to just a vacation to go to Vegas. Maybe that was his way of saying, hey, I'm kind of spiraling here, fellas. Can y'all help me?
Isaiah, when you watch the Bulls and you watch Phil Jackson's kind of philosophy and allowing Dennis to go to Vegas, do you ever wonder or look on that with some kind of sense of, I wonder what that would have been like? You guys were a group that were closely knit, and as you said, regimented with rules that were self-enforced. And Rodman could only take that for so long. And the group itself kind of had its run, and it was 2 championships, and then it was like it was spent. Whereas Rodman joins the Bulls and wins 3 with them, and he was later on in his career. It was actually he only played a couple of years after that. Do you ever look on the way the Bulls did it and wonder what it would have been like to be a part of that kind of culture instead of a bad boys culture?
Well, you know, culture is an interesting word, Max, and I'm gonna rely on my educational background. I have a master's degree in education from the University of Cal Berkeley in the cultural studies of sports and education. So when you talk about culture, let me tell you what I observed that the Chicago Bulls did. They took 3 of our players, John Sally, Dennis Rodman, James Edwards. They brought some of our philosophical defensive strategies into their philosophy, and those 3 players intellectually were able to give them some of all Piston culture, all Pistons knowledge, all Pistons rules, regulations, interacted. And I think what Chicago was able to do is take the best of the Pistons, take the best of Chicago, put it together, and then dominate a group of teams in the 90s that they were able to win 2 three-peats from 91 to 94, and I think was it from 90 something to 98, I think. But they won. They
95, 96.
They had 2 three-peats, but they combined defensive philosophies of the Pistons, and when we were rough or whatever, right? It was okay when Rodman was rough. It was okay when Cartwright was rough. And by the way, you know, the pictures and images that y'all show of the Detroit Pistons, y'all always show us knocking somebody down, and then you put, you know, a narrative behind it, but you never show the other team. Like you make it sound like the Chicago Bulls didn't have Charles Oakley. You make it sound like they didn't have Bill Cartwright. You make it sound like they wasn't a physical team. Chicago became a very physical team. And those philosophies got combined, and a little bit of our culture went to the Chicago Bulls culture, which made them the dominant juggernaut that they became.
Isaiah Thomas, is that your way of saying, at least in part, the Pistons that they got later? Max and I had a debate to start the show where he was talking about, I believe if it were not for you guys, that the Jordan era would not have been the same. Obviously, going through y'all would have won true rivalry that they had. Max's argument is that they didn't need you guys to be who I thought that's exactly what they needed in order to become what they became. What do you say to that?
100%. And by the way, just like we needed...
Which one?
Oh, they needed us to become the Chicago Bulls juggernaut. And just like we needed the Celtics, and just like, you know, we needed the Lakers. There's a learning curve that you have to go to understand how to win championships in this league. And it's different than being... And Max, I've heard you talk about Jordan was an individual great player. Yes, he was.
There's no doubt about that. Like I say, he was the MVP of the league in 88. Magic was 89, 90. But in order to win, in order to organize, in order to scheme, in order to philosophically understand offense and defense and integrate that into a team concept, Jordan had to learn how to do all those things. And he and Phil Jackson coming together allowed them to be a great team. And what we all saw with Jordan later on down the road, you know, he got Paxson involved. He got Curry involved. He got Pippen involved. And he started learning how to use his teammates. The organizational scheme that they had fit Jordan perfectly as a teammate, not as an individual. So while he was a great player as an individual, during those periods of time, he had to learn how to become a great teammate, a better organization in terms of scheming, philosophizing, and everything else with his teammates. And he learned a lot of that from us.
Isaiah,
just as we learned from the Celtics.
If the Bulls had not come around with Jordan and Pippen and knocked you guys off, do you believe the Pistons would have gone on to further dominance? In other words, were they the roadblock, or were you guys done with your run at that point regardless?
I think they were the roadblock, and we were also done. And injuries, you know, they used to say it's a marathon, not a sprint, right? And the marathon race that we have been running for so many years, and then the wrist injury that I have here, like I can only bend my wrist, you know, 2 inches, you know, and when that injury occurred, you know, that was a career-ending injury for me. I was never the same player after that, and I think I only played 2 more years. I retired at 32. But the Bulls' time had come, and they had become champions. And you know, we were the teachers, just like the Celtics were the teachers. And when the student becomes the master, it's time for the master to get off the stage. And it was definitely our time to get off the stage.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Isaiah, I also think it was a
in 88, we would have three-peated.
I think it was a teaching moment also earlier when you mentioned with Dennis Rodman, the first person to say that him going to Vegas might not have been a vacation, but more of a cry for help. Isaiah's sticking around here with us, much more to discuss as we break down the docuseries, The Last Dance. I also want to get his thoughts on the league and the upcoming plans to have some facilities reopen May 1st. We'll discuss that with Isaiah after the break.
Man, Jordan got a pretty good ring to it. It's gotta be the shoes.
I think it was the first time that sports was being sold in a cultural way.
I want to be like Mike also.
Everybody wanted to see this and be a part of it.
I'll see you down the road. Cool.
America's favorite breakfast. They just don't know it yet.
These are a few of
you order a breakfast sandwich, and that's when Wendy's makes it. Not weeks or months ago. Try your new favorite. Get a free breakfast Baconator with offer in the app.
Together, we can do this. Our spirit is what unites us. It is what bonds us and reminds us we are all one. Which is why if you need a vehicle during this time, we are offering 0% financing for 84 months with no payments for 90 days. And the ability to shop and buy from the safety of your home. Better days are ahead. And Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram will help you drive forward. It's not just the ships, the armor, or the aircraft. It's something more. It's the will to fight and determination to win.
found inside each and every Marine that answers a nation's call. Battles won.
For over 75 years, people have saved money with... sorry.
Here we go, from the top, and action.
For over 75 years, people have saved money with Gecko.
Cut it.
What did I say? Gecko. I said Gecko. Oh. For over 75 years...
Keep it together.
Good. For over 70... What are you doing there? Stop making me laugh.
Geico, saving people money for over 75 years.
Don't look at me.
When bugs move in, we stress out and spray. And spray. And spray. Well, we used to. With new Ortho Home Defense Max Indoor Insect Barrier, one simple application kills and prevents bugs in your home for up to a year, without odors, stains, or fuss. It's the modern way to keep bugs away. New Ortho Home Defense Max. Bugs gone, stress gone.
Since everyone's at home, binge button all, Planet Fitness is bringing the judgment-free zone to you. Join us on Facebook Live for daily home work-ins, like puppy playtime, homeschool recess, and race car cardio. Plus, we put our gym in your pocket with an app packed full of workouts for everyone and trainers you totally high-five, if you could. Ditch the binge butt and work in with us. Download our free app today. Planet Fitness. United we move.
What is that?
Mine. Why?
It's just that it's...
Lavender? Yes, it is. It's for men.
But I like the smell of it.
I sent your new prescription to the pharmacy. Any idea how much it will cost? You have a choice. Insurance or GoodRx? I have insurance. Insurance is not what it used to be. People struggle to get their prescriptions covered, and prices keep rising. I recommend GoodRx. You get free coupons to save on your prescriptions. Compare prices to find the best discounts.
GoodRx. Smart.
Stop paying too much for your prescriptions. Download the free app today.
This is gonna be America's favorite breakfast. They just don't know it yet. These are a few of my order a breakfast sandwich, and that's when Wendy's makes it. Not weeks or months ago. Try your new favorite. Get a free breakfast Baconator with offer in the app.
Sports will be back.
But for now, we're all rooting for a different kind of hero.
Let's embody the best parts of sports.
Teamwork.
Sacrifice, resilience, one goal, together.
We continue our look back at some of the greatest Monday Night Football games with Week 5 from the 2007 season. The Cowboys' Monday Night Miracle in Orchard Park against the Bills, 8 Eastern on ESPN and the app. Welcome back into First Take. The Hall of Famer Isaiah Thomas still here with us, breaking down the last dance in that rivalry between the Bulls and the Pistons. But Isaiah, I want to get your thoughts while I have you on some NBA news here. Now, I want to read this because I don't want to botch it. According to our Adrian Wojnarowski, some training facilities are going to open up May 1st, and those are in states where stay-at-home orders restrictions have been loosened. Now, in markets where they're still more restrictive, the NBA is telling teams the league will work with franchises to find alternative places to train. Isaiah, what are your thoughts on this approach?
I think it's a good approach in terms of in some states they may open up. I think we're learning more about the virus. I think we're learning more about what we can and can't do. The only thing that I would worry about is that in some of the states that are open and the facilities may be open, from an athletics standpoint, it does give some teams a competitive advantage if you were to start back. Because the facilities that they would have the access to in terms of training, in terms of working out, those teams, those players would have a competitive advantage over the other opposing teams whose state or facilities wasn't open.
I love the idea, and Isaiah, before you get off these airwaves, please allow me to readdress your point about Edwards and Sally and them being on the Chicago Bulls team, because I didn't want to chime in and interrupt with the delays, but I got to get on you about something there because I'm not buying that one. But let me get to this NBA stuff real quick. I love the fact, Max and Isaiah, that the NBA is doing this only from the standpoint that, again, I think it speaks to
the reality that we'll likely have an NBA playoff this coming summer. That's what I believe this is about. I think this is a great sign for that. I'm not sure I'm with you, Max, in terms of the speed with which this has happened, because we both still agree we don't think that states should be opening up anything at this particular moment in time. But I do love what it says. It says that the NBA is hell-bent on moving forward. I think that as progress continues to be made, that this says we're going to have an NBA playoffs come the beginning of July. That's what I believe.
I hope so. I mean, I want to see basketball. I want to see the guys compete. And, I want an ending to the story. I thought LeBron James and Giannis was leading up to a great ending, I want to see how that plays out. I want to see if Kawhi and the Clippers could knock the Lakers off, because the Lakers were on such a unbelievable, well, not unbelievable run, but they had a good rhythm going, and they were playing well, and the season was really coming to a nice climax before it ended. So I definitely want to see how it ends.
Isaiah, I hear what you're saying about how one of the issues with opening it up and doing it the way it's being proposed is that it gives some teams an athletic advantage, a competitive advantage, if they have more access to facilities and everything. But playing without fans is imperfect, and that would be what you mentioned would be imperfect. But as I sometimes say on this show, the perfect is the enemy of the good. Should we just, that objection notwithstanding or considering it, do we just have to accept, look, some teams are going to have competitive advantages. There won't be fans and all that. In order to get a season in, how far should we be willing to go in order to play these games?
The question.
Max, I think you're right. Right now it's an imperfect world that we're living in. And I'm not just talking about the sports world, I'm talking about the world in general. So to try to apply norms that we are traditionally used to in an imperfect sports world, in an imperfect society, you can't bring in the same norms sports-wise and culturally that you were used to. You are going to have to adjust and do things differently. And in order to have some type of conclusion, that may be the tough pill that the sports world may have to swallow to have a conclusion and a final point to this season. We're not gonna have it traditionally the way it's always been.
I totally agree with your point about that, Isaiah Thomas. Great question, Max. Isaiah, let me get back to you before I let you off this show. Now, let me be very clear with what I'm about to say, Isaiah. Ain't no way. You ain't getting away with that. Let me tell you something, all right? There we go. Come on now, Zeke. Here's the deal. I will give you all the credit.
He brought up the Masters for Berkeley and everything before he said it, too.
Listen, that's right. I will give you all the credit in the world for being that rival to the Bulls, that obstacle that they had to overcome to ultimately become what they are. But I'll be damned if I'm going to let you sit up here and tell me that John Sally, my brother, I love you dearly, John, but stop it. John Sally and James Edwards, two role players. Robin wasn't a role player, but two role players in Edwards and John Sally had so much to do with the culture of the Bulls, and that's what made them successful. Now that's ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. Now that's insulting MJ, Pippen, and the Bulls out there. Stop that. Stop that.
I didn't say it made them. I said that the philosophies that we had from an intellectual standpoint, okay?
Stop it.
Edwards and Rodman, I'm not talking about their physicality. I'm talking about the intellectual, mental storytelling that they were able to bring to Chicago.
Zeke, Rodman came for the last three. They won 3 titles before that. And don't give me no James Edwards or John Sally. Stop that, Isaiah. Stop it. Just stop it right now. Apologize, Isaiah. Stop it. Just stop it right now.
You only looking at the physical. We talking about the mental now. You talking about. We're talking about
it. Michael Jordan knew how to sing. Scottie Pippen knew how to sing.
No, well, yes, they did, but the storytelling of education, right? And I'm gonna take you back to your family. There's oral history and there's oral storytelling from an educational standpoint. Everything is not done through literature in terms of reading and writing. And the storytelling and the oral stories that Sally, Rodman, and Edwards were able to talk about and tell was an educational point, philosophizing with the Chicago Bulls at that particular time. Because if they wasn't, I'll put it to you this way, Stephen A., if they didn't need them, then why have them?
School 'em, Isaiah. Isaiah, always a pleasure to have you on the show. A class act.
I'm back, Molly. I'm back, Molly.
I was gonna laugh. Do you have something else you need to say?
You I'm sorry, Molly. Max Kellerman has done it again. He's contaminated our guts. He's got Isaiah Thomas talking about
cultural cross-pollination, Stephen A.
What do you want? He's educated.
I don't agree with you.
Max today, Stephen A.
I understand what you're saying.
I don't know how. I'm calling you the minute this show is over. The blast.
All right, gentlemen, let me get to commercial break here. Isaiah, thank you so much. Sport code on point as always, too. Forget the education lesson. All right, guys, when we come back, talking a little NFL coming up, the draft. Are the Patriots in desperate need of a quarterback? Marcus Spears will tell you.
He is going to speak. That's the point of all this, because that ain't happening. No, they're not the champs. I'd get bold, too, if you put $1 billion in my pocket. I tell you, I'd get real bold then.
We're all getting used to new routines. Ours is giving out your choice of a free Doritos Locos Tacos. Swing by Tuesday, April 28th. Taco Bell. Let our drive-thru help you get through.
Together, we can do this. Our spirit is what unites us. It is what bonds us and reminds us we are all one. Which is why if you need a vehicle during this time, we are offering 0% financing for 84 months with no payments for 90 days. And the ability to shop and buy from the safety of your home. Better days are ahead, and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram will help you drive forward.
Crispy, crunchy, peanut buttery, the irresistible, one-of-a-kind.
Little Lil. Come on, Little Lil.
If you need a new appliance now, no matter what kind of appliances you need, the Home Depot has the help you can count on. Complete your entire list online. Check ratings and reviews. Schedule free delivery. And get the appliances you need without even leaving home. Go online now to see special buy savings like this LG stainless steel refrigerator. Only from the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
How do your teeth get a dentist clean feeling? Start with a round brush head. Add power, and you've got world beating. These round brush heads surrounds each tooth to remove more pressure. For superior clean, round cleans better.
We all know she's a good girl.
Naturally for drug-free sinus relief. Navage cleans your nose by flushing out allergens, mucus, and germs.
I used to get so congested, but Navage cleans out all the stuff that makes me miserable so I can breathe again. And it's so easy, anyone can do it.
Online and at these fine stores. Over 1 million sold. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
According to the family, Auntie Jen's friend and her son can live with them.
It was a while.
According to the census, it doesn't matter if you're related or not. Everyone living in your home on April 1st counts. Because this count helps inform funding on how billions get spent every year. And where there are more people, there are more needs.
Complete the census online, by phone, or by mail. Shape your future. Start here at 2020census.gov.
We're all getting used to new routines. Ours is giving out your choice of a free Doritos Locos Tacos. Swing by Tuesday, April 28th. Taco Bell. Let our drive-thru help you get through. Introducing the future of fitness. It's every class you can imagine. Live.
Welcome back to the mirror.
You got this, John. And on demand. It's bar. Boxing. Strength. Cardio. Yoga. And more. It's an interactive.
Relax your shoulders, Dan. Don't show it.
Goal crushing.
Keep that heart rate up.
Whole family. Whole body fitness machine.
We make it look easy. We make it look good. When everybody sees it. Finally got my ear up and running. It's so cool.
You did an awesome job at that. Hope you feel it.
The future of fitness is at home. The Mirror.
I'm Jay Harris. Ahead on Sports Center at the top of the hour, former bad boy John Sally joining us live to tell you if he has any regrets for the Pistons not shaking hands with the Bulls back in '91. Plus, with the NFL draft now behind us, Adam Schefter on what the future may hold for Pro Bowl free agent Cam Newton. Sports Center with Hannah Storm and me right here on ESPN. Now we take you back to First Take.
But I wanted to welcome Pastor Jakes to the show. What's going on? Pastor Jakes, how you doing? It's good to see you. Preach. What's up? The Lord's yours, son. I shall defer.
Oh, I can't stand you sometimes, dude. You get on my last nerve.
I would ask, Max Kellerman, that you watch your tone when you are speaking to a pastor. My fault.
Somebody done told you this. Somebody done told you this whole Pastor Spears thing. I'm telling you. Deacon ain't.
I try to get some good word in my life every day, and on that note, we bring in one Marcus Spears. Yeah.
Hey, Molly, do you notice what Pastor Spears did? You know what Pastor Spears did? Notice that he don't have his collar all knocked up, all tied up at the top. Notice how he opened it up now, right? You know what I'm saying? He don't want to be accused of being the Pastor Spears again.
He's just preaching the good word, Stephen A.
What's up, bro? When you tied up? When you tied the last button up? When you tied up?
Hey. Because I'm sexy. That's why it's open. Anyway, Molly.
Don't speaking like this.
Molly, don't join in. Don't join in on all this, Molly. Don't do it.
No.
Don't do it.
Marcus, I'm just to say myself.
Don't get trapped into this Stephen A thing.
I'm just saying you bring the light, you know? You bring the light, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right? Guys, let's get right into it here. Marcus, you're the best. All right, guys, fresh off of Tom Brady signing with Tampa Bay, the Patriots did not select a quarterback in the 2020 NFL Draft. Jarrett Stidham leads the Pats depth chart at quarterback, followed by Brian Hoyer. And then they got undrafted free agent Brian Lewerke out of Michigan State and Jamar Smith from Louisiana Tech. Stephen, are the Pats in desperate need of a starting quarterback?
It's okay. I mean, we don't know anything about Jarrett Stidham. I mean, who was that? Fourth round pick out of Auburn, if I remember correctly. I haven't seen him in years. Again, Pastor Spears, I would defer. I mean, after all, you were the SEC network doing the football stuff the way that you were doing it. By the way, that's one of the best times I've ever had when I came there to Atlanta, Georgia for the SEC championship game, hanging with y'all. Absolutely loved it. But I got to tell you, I don't know if Stidham's that dude. I don't know if he's that answer. And you're replacing Tom Brady. So again, I think they desperately need something. Don't get me wrong. You can play with house money per se. When the GOAT departs from you, you can sit up there and say, okay, what did you expect for life without him? But based on the defense that you have, which is pretty damn elite, if you give them any kind of offense, they should be productive, which means you need a quarterback to pull that off. And I'm not sure they have one.
If anyone deserves the benefit of the doubt when it comes to evaluating the talent on his football team and not just worrying about the name brands, it's Bill Belichick. How many years now have we gone into seasons, even when they had Tom Brady, and said, not this year, not the Patriots, and they wind up with a dozen wins, and at least in the AFC Championship game. By the way, Brady they have a starting quarterback the year that Brady got hurt. Matt Castle won 11 games, 10 out of those 11 games, and got a big fat contract off that. Now, he might have been a good starter for another team, but Jarrett Stidham isn't playing for another team. Jarrett Stidham's playing for Bill Belichick. And Jarrett Stidham looked good in the preseason last year. And Jarrett Stidham, Belichick believes, can be a starter. I don't care if it was Jason Statham, let alone Jarrett Stidham. If Belichick's like, yup, we're giving that dude the football. He didn't work a deal. There were plenty of veteran quarterbacks around. He didn't overpay for some veteran. He thinks this guy can get it done. How about Garoppolo? How about Brissett? Right? So Brissett they didn't think was a starter. They moved him. But Garoppolo, they wanted to start. He had a 10-point lead in the Super Bowl against Patrick Mahomes. You know, he throws one pass on a dude's steps, and he's a Super Bowl champ right now. So if Belichick believes for an organization which over 20 years now, 2 decades around, looks at guys and forget the name brand, forget about what everyone thinks is the sexy name, we're putting a winning football team on the field. If he thinks Stidham could be the signal caller, then if anyone deserves the benefit of the doubt, it's Belichick. I believe Stidham could be a good starter.
Max, I'm 100% with you, and I love when we can agree. But let me go back because Stephen A. mentioned the SEC. Jarrett Stidham obviously played at Auburn. Auburn was a 2-loss team with the chance to get in the playoff because Jarrett Stidham, the starting quarterback for Auburn, went in back-to-back weeks and was able to beat Alabama and Georgia. So Jarrett Stidham is formidable. If Jarrett Stidham would have came out in this draft, he would have been right at that second tier of guys that we talked about possibly going in and being a really good backup with an opportunity to start. The third thing is, I don't think, like, Bill Belichick wanted Jimmy Garoppolo, obviously, to be there and possibly become the starter. I'm not sure if Jimmy Garoppolo is that much better at the junctures in their careers as Jarrett Stidham is, especially coming out of a bigger college and having the type of performances that he had. The third thing is this, and that's the point that Max is making. Benefit of the doubt. Like, we give Tom Brady benefit of the doubt that he's going to go to Tampa and be a Super Bowl contender. He's surrounded by the requisite weapons in order to get it done. So now we don't believe in Bill Belichick. We don't believe in his way of winning. We don't believe the fact that he's been such a good coach for a long time. We don't think that Bill Belichick is going to put the New England Patriots in the best possibility and the best situation to win games. Like, this narrative about New England needing a starting quarterback and us not trusting Bill Belichick to identify that more so than us in the media or fans or anybody else that's paying attention to the New England Patriots is asinine. It's crazy to think that. It's crazy to think that.
Pass the spin. I understand your point. Here's my problem. I don't recall anybody saying we don't trust Bill Belichick. I don't recall that being the question. The question was, are the Patriots in desperate need of a starting quarterback? Wait a minute. If Tom Brady, when he didn't have the weapons that he needed last year, we were like, is he in desperate need of a receiver? Hell yeah. He evidently thought so. He was willing to bring Antonio Brown. And what did they do? I brought that up many occasions. Hold on. Listen to my point. My point is, we acknowledge that as great as Tom Brady is, he was still in desperate need. We know how great Bill Belichick is. That doesn't mean he ain't in desperate need of something. If the time calls
Why do you think he signed Teddy Bridgewater?
Just because you're great don't mean you don't have needs.
But he didn't sign Bridgewater. He didn't trade for Foles. There were very competent quarterbacks that Bill Belichick said, no, I'm not spending a premium on that guy. I got a guy who's probably right at that level. Or else he would have made a move for a Bridgewater or a Foles or someone like that.
Okay. And I'm saying we'll find out. I'm saying it's highly plausible. Go ahead, Spears. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Since I'm the pastor, let me preach. Give me the pulpit, please. The thing is what you just made the exact point that Max and I are talking about. You said, and we all talked about, the New England Patriots needing a receiver. They needed to help Tom Brady be in a better situation to move offense. What did they do, Stephen A? They went out and got Antonio Brown. So what tells the total opposite of what you're talking about right now as far as needing a starter to come in at quarterback obviously he feels like he has a starting quarterback.
First of all, it is not a good look for a pastor to be blasphemous on national television. You need to mind your manners. That's number one. Number two, I specifically said that when it comes to Tom Brady was in desperate need of a receiver. But we all knew he was great. Why can I not say that Bill Belichick is in desperate need of a quarterback without having his greatness?
He told you why.
He can be as great as he wants to be. But if the quarterback can't produce for you on the football field, he can't make the record score, what are you going to do? It could be because Tom Brady. I'm sorry, Max. Go ahead. No, go ahead, y'all. Go ahead.
Time out.
Go ahead.
But Marcus told you why, Stephen A. He already gave you the answer.
But I don't believe him.
When Belichick thought they needed a receiver, they went out and got Antonio Brown. Here we don't have the receiver. Here's your guy. In this case, he didn't go out and get a quarterback, even though many were available for the taking. He stuck with his guy. That's simple. They need one.
Because who was really available, guys? There was nobody really available that was a guarantee.
I have a master's degree from Berkeley to tell you that if somebody has a need or they feel like they have a need, they go get the need. That's what Bill Belichick did. When you sitting there talking about he is in need of a starter, he didn't go get one. So obviously he feels like
the question was, are the Patriots, the question is, are the Patriots in desperate need of a starting quarterback? And you're asking my opinion. The question wasn't, do you believe Belichick feels he's in desperate need? I know how to answer the damn question.
How much info do you have on
I don't know about y'all, but I'm answering the question. I believe the Patriots are in desperate need of a quarterback. What's the problem? That's what I believe. Now, if y'all don't believe it because of Bill Belichick, go ahead. I don't believe it.
All you have to go on is you don't know about Stidham. Belichick knows a whole lot more than we do about Stidham, and he thinks he's the guy.
I'll deal with you two tomorrow.
All right, everybody, this is a lot of fun. Pastor Spears, pray for me, please. Keep me in your prayers. Isaiah, thanks for joining us. We'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.
With the NBA reopening practice facilities in some areas by the end of the week, Woj on what concerns there are about getting back to basketball. With the Saints making moves with their play callers, what does this mean for how the Breeze will be in the Big Easy? And with James Winston possibly off the market, Adam Schefter on Rivers League.
He's around, just don't let him outside.
I didn't let him outside.
You go outside lately?
No.
Oh, and he's around somewhere.
I don't know, because
Could be in the basement, could be anywhere.
I think he's on
Could be under my bed right now.
I think he's under your bed because I didn't even let him out outside.
Thank you for enabling us to do what we do. And sports news every day. So let's get started with the NBA. Some potential facilities opening up for training starting on Friday. Some team practice facilities will be open to players for voluntary workouts.
You want to get down? It's scary.
Easing their stay-at-home restrictions. These are the individual workouts. Teams are still prohibited from group practices and organized team activities.
What do you want?
Affect as many as
You want
franchises, including those in Texas. Here's Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban, also a member of the Opening Our Country Task Force on CNN.
Obviously, the minute it's safe, we want to try to get back and get the guys, practicing and getting ready for games. But we're not there yet. I can tell you that we're a little bit more confident that the technology and the medicine's going to be there, but we're not ready to make any commitments. I think it'll be a made-for-television event. I seriously do. I don't see how between now and starting games, whenever that may be, there'll be protocols in place that we can have confidence in. And the last thing we want to do is not only put our players and important personnel in jeopardy, but obviously the fans. And so we're not going to do anything until it's absolutely positively safe.
ESPN senior NBA insider Adrian Wojnarowski joins us now. So, Woj, what has prompted this move to open these facilities? It's a rather complicated team-by-team and state-by-state scenario.
It is, Hannah, and essentially the state of Georgia
opening for business on a limited basis first. I think had a lot to do with this timeline, and the Atlanta Hawks could open as soon as Friday when this rule will go into effect. Teams, Hannah, are really still waiting on the NBA to deliver them more details and specifics about how exactly this would work. You know, there was some communication from the league to a small group of owners over the weekend, and we reported on that, but teams are still waiting for more detail about how this role
It's okay.
Just me. A part of it was that the league had concerns that if the state of Georgia opened up first and gymnasiums in that state were open, that you might see a migration of NBA players down to non-NBA facilities, which would have all the protocols in place and safety. And that was a concern of the league, that players could start entering 24-hour fitness centers, Equinox, those kinds of places.
That makes a lot of sense, because even though we see things like LeBron James on Instagram and all the workout equipment he has, a lot of these players really depend on those team gyms. They don't have those kind of facilities where they live. And you have made it very clear this does not mean a resumption of the season is imminent, that the NBA is unsure when and if it can play again. This is sort of, I guess, the first baby step, if you will, but what concerns exist with even this first step?
Hannah, safety concerns among teams around the league.